Hey everyone, FunshineX here. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Unleashed. I'm here with little Funshine, and we are in space. Sun just rose. I did quite a bit of building during the nighttime, but I didn't film any of it because it's so dark and YouTube does not like to show dark videos very well. So we're going to just go ahead and do a little bit of base tour to see what I did while it was nighttime. The entrance hall hasn't changed. If you missed a few episodes, we were going to put all the different armors in the game lining up here. I also had a thought to maybe put some hat stands and put all the hats that we've got, I don't know, on the wall or something on the floor. I don't know. We'll think of something. And nothing's changing here. Let's go downstairs first, and I'll show you everything. Both boilers are now running, and they're nice and compact and hidden really well. I think it looks good. I'm going to go ahead and break it open a little bit just to show you how it's working. So I've got on two sides of the boiler, on the back side and then over here on this side, you can't see in the wall there, I've got 6 regular liquiducts. They're not redstone activated or anything like that. They're just regular liquiducts going into 2 tesseracts, liquid tesseracts. So there's a total of 12 steam outputs and 4 liquid tesseracts. That might be overkill, but all I know is that during testing and in working here now, I'm using as much steam as I can. I'm keeping the steam hovering at 50%, which is where I want to be. It's also now at 1,000 degrees, so it's max, so it's using the biofuel very efficiently. These are both coming in from Ender tanks, and the liquiducts are underneath providing water. The water's doing great. So yeah, these are running well. Each of them then is putting out all of its steam into those on the same channel of the Ender, or not of the Ender, the Tesseract. The liquid Tesseract is putting out the steam. I think this one is almost maxed. Yeah, he's not quite maxed yet. Over here is where we had that tank. I've added an advanced information panel with the liquid sensor location. So you take liquid, the kit. You'd get one of these kits. So I took the liquid kit, and you just right click on the valve, and it will give you this little sensor card, and you put it in here, and then you configure it, and you say, this is how I made it flat. By putting this all the way down, it makes this thing flat. Whoops. Go away, D. You can choose your colors. So I've got a black screen with purple text. And then I've told it to turn on. I'm not sure what all these little settings are, but the plus seems to work for me, so that works. Why is the D? That was weird. The text entry on these is a little weird, but that's showing that it's biofuel in there. It's got 603 buckets worth of biofuel, and it's 15% fuel. So this still tank is holding plenty. I might color this. Does anyone know how you can color these tank blocks after they've been placed? I'm not sure which painter, or if these guys work. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll test in a test world, but I'd like to do them maybe the cyan or light blue color, or maybe purple. I don't know. We'll see. Something better than the steel, because it doesn't really look the best right there in the wall. And then I'll put another tank over here. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there yet. Maybe mob essence or something. Okay, the only thing I changed over here was I added a second oxygen tank so that I can pull out 2 now at a time and just swap them when I'm getting low. That seems to work really good. I'll automate this at some point, but that's good for now. A change I made in here, all of these storage buses now have priority 64 because I want anything in these to stay in here. I don't want it to go out into my ME network. I had a problem where I was messing around with the I/O drives and trying to pull things into the drives, and it was sucking out of the DSUs and filling up the drives. So all of these now have priority 64, so they should be the highest priority on the network for anything that can be stored in there. The only thing I'm running low on is seeds. This thing just does not keep up with the seeds that I need, and if you look at it, I even added a lily pad of fertility, and it's just not keeping up. So I might need to expand to a second wheat farm somewhere. The other option is, of course, I already have another very large wheat farm right here. So I could harvest this guy with MFR and replant him and that kind of thing, and that should give me enough seeds. So that might be what I do. Again, power for this system is off until I've laid all the oxygen lines and oxygen bubble distributors. So this is not really doing anything right now other than making like little blue dots and looking really cool. Okay, so that's this whole room. That's the boilers working. This setup, I'm not liking it. These don't drain evenly, and it seems to pull from the middle one the most. So even when I set it very low on its output, it's still, these kind of stay maxed. So when my engines turn on and I pull out 300 MJ a tick, it's wasting it because this one fills up, and then this one fills up, and then it's 300 trying to go into 100. So we're still having a problem there. What I believe I'm going to do is I'm going to flip these around and put Buildcraft logic gates on my energy cells and have, you know, like each one of these rows powering one redstone cell, and then say only turn on each row individually when it needs it. So I'll have 4 energy cells, and they'll just probably these 4 here, and they'll turn on when needed. That will make the system a little bit more compact and a lot more efficient, so we're not wasting energy. Honestly, it doesn't matter if we waste too much energy because milk is infinitely replenishable, and I have 1 billion force logs. So, not 1 billion, but plenty to last me for a good long time. So I don't really need to worry about it, but I just don't like things that are inefficient and wasteful. So we're going to be fixing that sometime. And then here I've done quite a bit of changes using the advanced information panels, the same one I used on the tank. So I've built a second and a third reactor. The third reactor I don't have all the components for because I ran out of copper, which is interesting. I thought I'd run out of maybe iron or steel, you know, steel type first or iron. I don't know what it all uses, but copper seems to be required a lot in reactors and heat sinks, that kind of thing. So I don't have a third reactor up, but I did get the second reactor up. So this information panel, it has a reactor sensor location card, and that's from the remote kit. You take this guy here and you go click on the nuclear power, basically the nuclear block, and you get this card here. And because it's so far away, I need 4 range upgrades for it to be able to read it. And then it's got the same pretty much settings, but this one it's got a little bit different on this guy. So I'm keeping it pretty much half thick and then slanted. So, oh gosh, I keep doing that. No. See, it like puts a D there. I'm not hitting D, but it puts it there anyway. So you kind of get this little outward slant. These are Railcraft posts. I thought they might look cool here. I don't know. I might take them out. I don't know. I thought they might look like conduit or power lines or something, but since they don't line up here, it looks kind of silly. So we got Reactor 1 put on 100 EU per tick, to a tick for like 2.5 hours, I think it started at, and this one 100 EU per tick. So yeah, that's 200. And then here I've got another one. I've got a counter sensor location card. I'm going to show you where that's coming from in a minute. I have 2 text cards, and these, the only purpose of them is to kind of center this. If you don't have them, then this kind of grows really big on the screen, and I'd like to keep it about the same size as that text. So that's all those text cards do, is I just have a space on each one. And then this one I just say, just show me the energy. And I've made it flat, black with orange. So we're pulling 900 EU per tick. Wow, I can't say that. So 100 here, 100 there, which means our 2 boilers are pulling out 700 EU, or 350 EU each. Someone can confirm if that's the maximum or not, if I'm getting efficient results there. Keep in mind the steam is going through a tesseract. I'm not sure if that fixes it, or affects it. And then here I've got a giant to-do list. So this is kind of got a little slant down. I think it's pretty cool. The boilers are done, so let's see which is the actual block here. This has got a text card, and this other entry here allows you to do 10 lines of text. So we can craft that. One thing is you can't move things up a line, so you kind of have to manually move it up. So this is not in really an order of importance or the order we're going to do them. It's just kind of things I'll add, and then when there's a blank slot, that's where you guys come in. Let me know what you want me to put here. The most either exciting thing someone wants to put in, or Maybe the thing that gets kind of the most votes or the most interest we'll add, and we'll go ahead and put it on there. There are some things on here, I might not have, like iridium type things. I can't really do anything with iridium yet because I don't even have UU matter. So if it's something that's far down the line, we can hold off on it. But I want things that I have the materials for and I can do right now. So feel free to make suggestions for slot number 1 there. So the other things we want to do is that MFS meteor shield, create our oxygen network, upgrade our nuclear power. 100 EU per tick is child's play to what these things can actually do. We need our mob and animal farms all filled in. Right now we only have the cow, the enderman, and the blaze. So we need to get every animal and every mob in there. Finish all the decoration in the entrance hall. We need to go look for a space village and recruit some of the villagers to come help us work here. I think I could probably golden lasso one of them or put them in one of the Pokeballs and bring them over here. Yeah, we might be able to put them down here and put them to work. If I can put them in the golden lasso, I think I can put them in an anvil and rename them. So I might rename them after my subscribers or something like that. Solar power. I'd like to get some solar going. Some of the advanced solar stuff we need a lot of iridium for, but we can build some of the basic solar power. Finish my nano armor. I've only got the one piece. I want to get rid of the force armor here. And then we need to start recycling some scrap so we can get some UU matter. So that's the to-do list for now. Go ahead and tell me what you guys want to see first, or what's most important for me to show, and what goes in slot number 1. Put it in the comments, guys. Okay, so I've got these little guys. These are from Arcane Applied Energistics, and I'm just going to call it Arcane Energistics for now on because I screwed up every time. These are from Arcane Energistics. It's a new mod. Yeah, so it just shows me kind of the things I've been running out of lately. Quartz, obviously, and then force logs was running out. Now you can see I've got close to 6,000. So now that those the force engines or our laser drill's not pulling from the force engines, they're not running as often, and so we're building up a heavy surplus of wood. Crystal, a little bit has been coming in from the laser drill. I think that's like maybe 30 extra since last episode, and I did use a bunch to build these screens, so it's probably coming at a good rate. The nether quartz is coming in very well from the laser drill, and then iron and gold are just taking off. I had like 300 last episode, and now I've got 1,000, so that's coming in really fast thanks to our 900 EU per tick going into that thing. I think 2,000's the max, so that's what we'll try and get to. Yeah, and then in here, nothing really changed other than wiring those guys up. Emptied my drives, and I upgraded some of the drives that were getting full. So some of them are 4K, these two are 16K because they were a lot fuller. And then I made sure to clean up anything on these extra unformatted drives that should belong in a formatted location. Over here, nothing has changed. Yeah, nothing at all. I've got 3 bioreactors. When I was powering both of those, trying to get them up to speed, I went with 6. And I just manually loaded 3 of them with the stuff. Because we don't have a lot of wheat seeds, sometimes this slot goes empty and it's not quite as efficient, but it's enough. These 3 definitely have enough to power those 2 boilers. So that's the kind of the ratio, I think. Anywhere on the internet I've read, it's one reactor can do 2 boilers, and that just doesn't seem to be the case for Unleashed, at least for me. Maybe it's a space thing, like a moon thing or something. I don't know. I couldn't find any config options for how fast these guys can leak out of their buffer. But yeah, so it's going to take me 3 of these bioreactors to populate or to fill, to keep full enough bio juice, purple juice, biofuel. How much rubber we got? 1,400. We can probably turn off, or yeah, turns that all back to forest trees. Or, I don't know. That's so much extra. We're never going to use it all. All right, last thing to go look at is the nuclear area, because that's changed a little bit. So let's start down in the nuclear area. I've got 3 nukes. I saw on the internet, I was researching one, and it uses 2 chamber pods. and you can kind of make a circle of them, and then each one producing 180. So if we had 4 times 180, that's 400, 720. So yeah, I think I'll upgrade to that. Maybe put 4 of these or something. I don't know, maybe more. But we would need AE to come and auto-populate these things, and we'd need to use the other type of uranium, this stuff, the dual core. And at the moment, I do not have a lot of uranium, so I think I need to get a breeder set up as well to re-enrich the uranium. So we'll see. So this pipe comes out underneath, and I'm just going to go right through here. Yeah, that's fine. It comes up the staircase, and it goes into, basically it's going into this thing called an average counter. And you can see it says it's putting out 900 over, averaged over 10 seconds. And this is what that information panel is linked to. I've used a number counter kit to get this output, and then it's going back to that panel. I've got 4 upgrades in here. If I only had 2, I would blow up because it would be 512. 3 goes up to 1024, I believe. And so 4 will get me up to 2,000 something. So I've got plenty of transformers here to go all the way up to my max of 2,000, which is what I'm trying to get for my laser drill. And here's where the steam is coming in. The Tesseracts are right here. They're coming in, receive only on channel 1. And they're only going to this. This one is a producer and this one's a consumer. So it knows to put it down in here. So you can see the steam hovers between 1,000 and then dips all the way down to like 200 or 300. I don't know. And that's just basically because those boilers, they're going above 50%, and so it takes everything it can, and then it's hitting 50%, so it's going down to say, oh, nope, I don't have anything left for you. So that tells me that I'm using all the steam I can. I want this thing to be input limited. And then output, the energy bridge, of course. Oh, I just crashed. And we're back. I was just showing the setup here on the energy bridge. So this is going up to... it's an HV, so it can get up to 512, and that's why I've got 2 of them, because I would be putting out 700 something between the 2. So this one gets half the steam, this gets the other half, and then they both combine together to put out about 700 EU into this guy. Combine it with the nukes, and we've got 900. Awesome. As soon as we get the 3rd reactor online, we'll have an even 1,000, and then as we upgrade these reactors, we should be able to get up to 2,000. This guy here, I'm just missing some of these heat vents, and then he'll be good to go. Okay, let's clean up after my mess. So this is kind of, I put these in the floor so I've got nice easy access to them if I ever need to turn one off or something to use the steam elsewhere. And I can see the counter right there. So that's a pretty cool setup. And I can get rid of this hole here. And that's the base tour, guys. I took a lot of the episode. I'm sorry. Kind of every morning we'll have a base tour to see what I did at night. Okay, so I think what I want to do, let's go look at our to-do list. I'd like to start doing MFS pretty soon, but I don't know much about the new MFS. I've done a little bit with the one that takes, I guess that's called Clavia's. That takes the Forcisium, and I might be backwards. Maybe it's Calclavius is the new one and the old one's Forcisium. I don't know, but I've only got 624, and I'm not sure that would last a lot. Like I want to have a big. It's just going to be a thin, one high wall, shield above me, but it's going to be a very large one. It's going to cover the area of my base, and maybe I'll need a couple of them, like one here. If you can see my mini map that just goes up the entrance hall, and then another kind of big one, maybe a circle or a triangle, I don't know what shapes you can do to cover the main base, and then maybe even a 3rd one to cover the wings, or the 4th one, I don't know. It's going to be interesting trying to cover the whole base, so we don't get meteors landing on us. So I'm not going to do that one yet, just until I can do more research. If you guys want to make suggestions in the comments of which MFS I should use for that, if that Forcisium's not going to last long enough, then I need to use the other one that just relies on power. And I need to know how much power it's going to take, what modules I need to build to just have a nice flat shield of unpenetrable blocks. They need to be clear as well so the sunlight gets through. And yeah, that'll be it. Oxygen network, that really is just going to rely on me digging out a bunch of stuff, so I might wait till the next nighttime to do all that digging, and then we can hook that oxygen network up. Nuclear power upgrade, I can't do that because I'm out of copper. Let's see if I've got any copper while I've been waiting. A little bit, not a ton, but we do have some. The mob and animal farms are going to be dependent on getting the oxygen network up, so we're going to hold off on that. The entrance hall armors, we could do a couple of those. Do I have any, like, just random armors? I think I melted them all down for their iron and copper and gold and whatever, bronze. Yeah, I think I've melted everything, so we'll have to do some of that. Let's do one of them. Do we have iron? Which ironwood do we have? Not a ton. I'll have to go get some more from that thing. But we can get some of these guys. Let's see. 6 would give us a helm. If I did this instead, we would still only get a helm. Yeah, let's get the chest piece. And the helm. Okay, and then how much Naga scale do I get? About the same amount. Let's do the same thing. Just one chest piece, please. Yep, and I can get legs, and I can get a helm. What? Is there no Naga helm? Huh, there's no Naga helm. Maybe it's called something else? Let's do uses. See what we can build with this guy. Huh, just those 2 pieces. Okay. I guess that's all we're gonna get out of that. And the other thing I've got some mud. And I'm not sure you make it out of mud balls or mud bricks. Let's see. It is. So muddy chest plate, muddy leggings, muddy helm, muddy boots. So there's our muddy armor. We actually should try that on. I want to see what it looks like. That's pretty bad. It's like got mud on my face. I can't see. Help! Help! Okay, enough of that. Alright, so that's the mud armor. What other armors do we got? Obviously the vanilla stuff. Steel. Invar. Amethyst. I don't think I have any amethysts. No, I don't even know where you get those. Thaumium. Ooh, I can make some thaumium set. Yeah, we can get some thaumium. Chest, legs, helm, boots. Awesome! Alright, that's good for now. I'll go outfit it with more like the vanilla stuff and that kind of thing later. Hey, little Funshine, what you doing up there? Okay, so do we want any order to this, or just want to put it in? Maybe we'll go from crappy to better. So let's put the mud... I don't know. I don't think I'm going to keep it in any order. Let's just put it on somewhere. Okay, so that's our mud armor. Let's put one here, the thaumium. I like that armor, it looks pretty good. And maybe this one here, we'll put the Naga scale. And this one, put the ironwood. Sweet! It's looking better already. If you guys have a favorite armor suit that you'd like me to build, just let me know. Okay, let's go back to our to-do list. Apologize, I've got like air in my stomach. I keep burping. It's not very professional, is it? Space villagers. That'd be interesting to go find. Might take a while though, so I might do that off camera and again at nighttime, so I'm not wasting our daylight. Solar power. Let's see. What do solar engines take these days? Basic solar panel right there. So a generator, circuits, coal dust. So I know right now that's going to take a lot of copper because these take copper, that takes copper. So we're not going to get too far on that line. I mean, I can build a couple, but definitely not a high voltage array or anything. Advanced solar panel takes iridium, right? Yep. Lots of iridium. And probably some iridium in here as well. No? Where's the other iridium? I thought this thing took a lot of iridium. Oh, maybe here? Nope. Oh, it takes UU matter. Okay, so we're going to need that. Hybrid. Oh, that's the one that takes all the iridium. Anyway. So, and the ultimate hybrid. Holy crap. Rich Cenarium. Uranium. Cenarium. Yeah. Okay, so let's make a few. Let's make sure we have everything automated at least. Can we build a generator yet? No. Let's do that. That'll be a good thing to do. Alright, I've got a couple blink patterns. What can I build of the generator? I've got batteries. I've got refined iron. Little Funshine's found something. What have you found? Where are you? He's up there. He's found something. Okay. Alright, so we can make the battery. We can make refined iron, obviously. And can we make an iron furnace? We can't. Can we make a normal furnace? We can't. Alright, start off with those. Very basics. So let's get a furnace. Now let's make it an iron furnace. And then we can make our generator. This guy, and I need to go get an actual battery here. An empty battery anyway. And that will give us our generator. Sweet. Okay. I see 2 parts. Go right here. Sure. Oh, you're a vanilla block. You can go down there. I don't know. They're everywhere. Let's put them over here. That's more of like components. I've got to save room for gears. Okay, whatever. It works. So now I should be able to request a generator. You can watch them build. Alright. And then I'll need another blink pattern here. And we'll make the solar panel. As far as coal dust is concerned, we do have a craftable recipe already. Okay, great. So now we should be able to make a solar panel. Craft 2 of them. See how it does. It's crafting the coal dust. Crafted a ton of refined iron. Circuits. How many copper cables we got? 44 copper cables. And look, our thing is bringing in more copper. Awesome. I love it. Just sit here and the laser brings it to us. Alright, so we should have made 2 solar panels. Awesome. What do you want to do with those? Well, until I've got the MFS array, I don't really want to put these in a too conspicuous location. Here, we'll do this. I want to make sure that these can go through stained glass. So let's put it right here. seeing the sun. So now we should be putting out an average of 900 even. Awesome. And 902. Yep, so it's going to fluctuate a little bit. But now we've added 2 more EU per tick. All right. In all seriousness, we'll upgrade those when we have more copper. I'd like to upgrade my nuclear first, using that 200 copper that I have. All right, are we getting along? I think we might have time to finish the Nano Armor. Let's do that. So let's look up Nano. And come along in here. How many carbon things do I got? None. All right, we'll need 4. I don't need that. 10. 14. All right, we'll get that going. Then we're going to need 1, 2, 3 crystals. And we need just some glass there. That's easy. Nothing and nothing. Okay. There, we had a coal or something? Oh, no, it's still crafting this. Pulverizing our coal. It'd be this one, probably. Alright, we got 2. Come on, we need 14 of that stuff. Goodness. Is this coal? Yeah. Do it the manual way. What are you filling up? So these are probably ores coming in from the system when it gets someone like another ore. Oh, I put nether emeralds in here thinking it would pulverize emeralds. It cannot. That pattern doesn't exist. So I moved that over here. So it's going to take nether emerald ore, it's going to cook it here to make normal emerald ore, and then it's going to come back here and pulverize it, and you get 4 emeralds out of it. Or 2, yeah, so 2 and 2. So 4 emeralds out of that. Oh, that's pretty good. I don't think I've collected a single emerald in this game, but the laser drill's given me 310 emeralds. I think I've made like 1 or 2 because of like the MFS, the Power Glove, MFR, MPS, that's it. All right. How many carbon plates do we got? 14. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. One of you. Boots. And you. And helm. Perfect. All right. Advanced nano suit. We need to go charge it. And I can do that. I don't have anything to charge over there. What I need is like a charging bench. And I think you can build those, but this doesn't have a slot. No, it doesn't. So I'll have to put 1 in here and 1 in here. All right, so those are going to charge up in between episodes, and I'll be ready to wear them next time. Again, I will be I guess this is the end of the episode. I'm sorry, guys. Wrapping up point, as Direwolf would say. And I will see you guys next time. This has been FunshineX and Little Funshine here on Feed the Beast Unleashed in Space. Please comment. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. I know a lot of you guys say, FunshineX, you should have more subscribers and more views. I won't unless you hit that like button. Then we'll get lots of views, and then I'll put out more videos, and it'll be this grand circle. But until then, just keep watching. I appreciate it. This has been FunshineX, guys. I will see you later. Bye.